To mark its 15th Annual Flood Outlook, Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency (NIHSA) has adopted a new and effective approach on flood forecasting mechanism to ensure that critical risk information is clearly understood and actionable for vulnerable communities. While giving his keynote address at the Ladi Kwali Hall, Abuja Continental Hotel, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Engineer Professor Joseph Telomun Utsev, said this year's Annual Flood Outlook is targeted at addressing challenges of flood disaster.
The segmented annual flood outlook are the flood forecast, flood risk communication, and flood mitigation and adaptation.
The minister further said the 2025 Annual Flood Outlook shows that 1,249 communities in 176 local government areas in 30 states and FCT fall within the moderate flood risk areas.
1,249 communities in 176 local government areas in 33 states and FCT fall within the high flood risk areas, while 2,187 communities in 293 local governments in 31 states of the Federation, including FCT, falls within the moderate flood risk areas. The high flood risk states comprises of Abia, Adamawa, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Bauchi, Bayelsa, Benue, Borno, Cross River, Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Federal Capital Territory, Kwembe, Imo, Jigawa, Kebbi, Kogi, Kwara, Lagos, Nasarawa, Niger, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, Oyo, Rivers, Sokoto, Taraba, Yobe, and Zamfara states.
Also, the Director General and CEO Umar Ibrahim Mohammed, during his goodwill message, said flood forecast helps identify potential threats and strengthen resilience.
To this effect is to strengthen resilience of the communities and provide policymakers and disaster risk managers with timely, precise, and actionable flood risk information that empower them to take proactive measures for protected lives, livelihoods, and properties.
Also speaking, the Honorable Member representing Ihiala Federal Constituency and Chairman House Committee on Hydrological Services said it has become imperative to educate and empower communities regarding flood disaster.
Flooding not only affects our physical infrastructure, but also disrupts our social fabric and economic stability. It is therefore imperative that we unite our efforts in developing and implementing effective strategies that enhance our resilience to these challenges.
As the rainy season begins, the theme for this year's Annual Flood Outlook is flood resilience, focusing on communities' preparedness and adaptive strategy for flood management. For Landslide News, I am Kelvin Tewa Innocent reporting.